Knowing that his son was the one who caused the accident, he ran away. Moreover, her brother-in-law was her daughter-in-law, so she fainted. Jin Ji-yu decided to turn himself in, but she prevented him from going. Feel at home. Already compensated enough for daughter-in-law and grandchildren. And threatened him to go to confession. Mother also only has this old life. So he temporarily agreed. And asked her not to go and win Junhee anymore. She could only endure the pain and agree with him. She just wanted to see her once in a while. After all, I raised you for 4 years. Jin Ji-yu cleaned the room before. It was as if Insa could be seen next to her. Do you remember? When I was 8 months pregnant with Junhee. In the morning, I want to eat tangerines. I ran in the middle of a storm to buy tangerines for you. When I returned to my senses, I discovered that things could no longer be the same. Ever since Jong-hoon didn't even look at Se-yeon. But she still stubbornly clung to him. Jong-hoon said he didn't want to see her anymore. Se-yeon threatened him and said if he did that to her, then she will make him regret for the rest of his life. Jong-hoon made an appointment to meet Jin Ji-yu. Ask him why he is still recovering and resigning. Did you find the culprit behind Insa who wanted to harm Insu? But Jin Ji-yu is still uncertain. Also afraid that Jong-hoon won't believe it. Who is he? Minute Dong-yeon and his assistant. Your fiancé's brother, your brother. And above is his father. N.A. Jin Ji-yu. But he only said Insu's investigation notes at that time. See a series of photos. Dong-yeon can also feel it on this side. It seems that Jong-hoon is doubting himself, instructing his assistant to work carefully. But he reported. Yesterday Se-yeon and Jong-hoon had a big argument. Kang Jong-hoon. This kid. It's okay if he hurts Se-yeon. It's okay to make her cry. I'll pay you back 2 times 3 times. On this side, the president wants Insa not to see her son anymore. Trick her not to dream that the sparrow will turn into a phoenix. Insa said she told Jong-hoon not to see him again. However, the president still did not forgive her. Warn her that if she broke her promise, she would pay the price. Insa looked at them. Always trample and disparage yourself. Also feel disgruntled. The only thing that can comfort her is her son. Jong-hoon wants to find Insa to understand the truth of the accident. But after the dangerous times before. Reminds me of the threatening words of Se-yeon and the president. In the end, to protect Junhee, he chose to avoid meeting. The next day Junhee looked at her mother. The boy feels that his mother has a lot to say. Use simple childish words but very touching. Mommy. Mommy. What's wrong? Mommy. Why, son? What do you want to say to your mother? No, I like Mom. Mom loves you too. Today the kindergarten organized a camping trip. Se-yeon comes to visit Junhee. Trick him to find his grandmother with him. This scene was seen by the school bus driver. But I think it was my mother who took me away. Se-yeon took Junhee to eat ice cream. And she left Junhee there alone and ran out to answer the phone. But suddenly Junhee saw a bat like his mother. Thought it was my mother. It's the mother. Take the toy and rush to chase. Mommy. But the woman who turned her head was not the mother. Junhee is disappointed. Just like that standing in the middle of the road. Suddenly, a car drove straight into him. The toy fell to the ground. Insu is at work. There seems to be spiritual communion. Mommy. Junhee. Junhee. Se-yeon tricked into kidnapping Insu's child. Just didn't notice an accident happened. Se-yeon is busy making phone calls. Detected an accident. He turned his head to look but the baby was nowhere to be seen. Go up close and see a familiar toy. Confirmed it was Junhee. Feeling panic and fear. Afraid of being responsible, he quietly left. And comfort yourself not doing anything wrong. On this side, Insu knows that something has happened to her son. Rushed to the hospital. Because he ran too fast, his shoes fell off. Seeing his son seriously injured had to be taken to the operating room. Insu feels like the sky is about to fall. Jin-goo's family also ran over. Mrs. Soon Jae did not find out about the incident and scolded Insu. All because of her. It's you who made Junhee become like this, it's because of you. And the one who caused the disaster, Se-yeon, was extremely scared. Her brother's assistant told her not to worry. He will handle everything for Se-yeon. He told Se-yeon to call her colleague. Said he was sick, so he had to take leave. Advised to wipe the scene camera at that time. Dong-yeon also became panic. I'm afraid my sister will go to jail because of this. What should I do? How is the child? Going to listen. Dong-yeon asked the assistant why he took the child away. But he said he wanted to take the baby away. Just to scare Eun-soo. Why would you do such a useless thing? Jung-hoon heard the news and ran to ask. What did you come here for? What relationship do you have with our Joon-hee? Who welcomes you here? You leave me. Honestly, this isn't someone's biological son. Started blaming again. Because Jung-hoon appeared. That's why her son has a happy family. Broken again. But he never mentioned what Jin Ji-yu did 6 years ago. Jung-hoon can only sincerely apologize to her. To calm her anger. At this time, the doctor came out and said that he needed to temporarily observe. Not sure if it's dangerous. Scared Insa to fall to the ground. Crying in heaven and earth. Apparently in the morning the baby was still running and jumping happily. But now the boy is alive or dead. Everyone calmed down and began to find the cause of the accident. Insa said it was her fault. She used to be very self-critical. Also, the mother added fish sauce and added salt. Over here, Dong-yeon is comforting her sister, everything will be okay. It's just that the kid wasn't so lucky. It was not easy to coax her to sleep. In his eyes, only his sister's life was life. He also instructed the assistant to use all means to delete the camera. Se-yeon dreamed that Insa came to find her to calculate the book. No, not me. Minute Se-yeon, you two go. No. Scared to panic. The family looked at Joon-hee lying on the hospital bed. Extremely sad. Everyone feels guilty. Dong-yeon is afraid that the child will wake up and recognize Se-yeon. Wondering if it should be resolved. Eliminate consequences. Jung-hoon came to ask Joon-hee's situation. The teacher said. At that time, a woman led Joon-hee to leave. He asked the person what characteristics he had. The teacher recalled that the girl was apparently wearing a cap with letters embroidered on it. Then came the camera confirmation. Was informed that someone broke it again. Dae-ji-yu also went to the ice cream shop to ask about the situation. The staff described the woman as very beautiful. Furthermore, he wears sunglasses and a cap. And Se-yeon quickly stabilized her mind to go to work. Finally, the four people told each other the news they knew. It was concluded that someone took Joon-hee away. At this moment, Insa looks at Se-yeon on TV. Remembering the words she warned her earlier. In her heart, she almost got the answer. The son was taken away by someone else and there was an accident. The mother watched the evil woman's show. And already got the answer who is the culprit. She goes to the ice cream shop to find evidence. Suddenly the employee remembered that she was wearing an expensive watch at that time. At the same time, Se-yeon was sick, so she had to go to the hospital. Everything is just too coincidental. Insa also placed the suspect as Se-yeon. Jung-hoon is also trying to find the whereabouts of the kidnapper. Without knowing it, it was the younger sister of the man in front of her. Dong-yeon came to talk again. Bao is not his son who cares like that. He also emphasized that his sister was seriously ill and had to be hospitalized. Yet he didn't care. Suddenly reprimanded. Don't care about them. Emphasize asking him to be responsible for his sister. But now Jung-hoon understood everything. Once again saying that Se-yeon is just his sister. If you dare to hurt our Se-yeon. Until then, I'll pay you back several times over. I warn you clearly. Dong-yeon returned to call the other two. The first is to have the hospital staff keep their mouths shut. The second is to delete all cameras at the scene. Third, confirm the witness at that time for you. Now it's sorted. But he was only afraid that the baby would wake up and point out Se-yeon. So I thought about letting Joon-hee never wake up. Mrs. Pal soon also brought Se-yeon to visit. Eun-soo kept staring at her. Se-yeon stood there shivering in fear. Mrs. Soon-jae also scolded Eun-soo. There are guests who come to visit without saying hello. Not polite at all. Mrs. Pal soon said there was no need to say hello. Se-yeon stood to the side and pretended to cheer for her. She must try up. Everything will get better. I will pray. When she got home, the more she thought about it, the more pressure she felt. Dong-yeon's assistant meticulously called. Asked her if she swiped the payment card at that time. But now she was nervous and afraid to speak directly. Ice cream shops too. Right. In ice cream shops also use cash. Don't worry. I'm still smart. The more Se-yeon thought about it, the more she felt that it was Se-yeon's doing. Flip through popular magazines one by one to find watches. I also went online to search for Se-yeon's photos. Confirm the style of watch she wears. With the type of clock the employee indicated. Same. Eun-soo showed Se-yeon's photo to confirm again with her. But at that time Se-yeon covered her face. Staff also could not confirm. Dong-hee accidentally saw the picture of the clock. Said my sister had this too. But gave Se-yeon a long time ago. Eun-soo did not give up but went to the hospital to listen. Pretend her friend is lying in the VIP room. But the janitor revealed it. Recent VIP room. It's been empty for 2 weeks. Ask her if she made a mistake. Eun-soo is now 100% sure. Se-yeon was the one who took Jun-hee away. So he got angry and ran to find Se-yeon to calculate the book. Lee Eun-soo. That day, she took Jun-hee to my house. The results are not carefully looked after. So now it becomes like that. Minute Se-yeon. It's you, isn't it? What? That day she took Jun-hee away. Just became like that. It's Minute Se-yeon, isn't it? Even Se-yeon didn't admit it. Eun-soo directly brought all the evidence to confront. But these statements are without evidence. How does it work with Se-yeon? As for Eun-soo, go and tell everyone. Then ask someone to hold Eun-soo. Leave yourself. Immediately call his brother's assistant. As a result, the next day the staff changed the bow. The auntie who worked at the hospital was also fired. All of Eun-soo's efforts are considered to be broken. Se-yeon was also relieved. Also criticized Eun-soo for being too stupid.